So, we're back on another bathroom, and I can't remember it being quite this bad. So this is what we're starting with. 3 layers of tiles, one on top of the other, damp issues everywhere, and mould right across the ceiling. The toilet and basin are seriously dated, and there's nothing in here worth saving. It's far from pretty, but this is where the real transformation begins. Time to rip it all out and start again. First job is getting the toilet pan out. I'm going to be emptying the pan water straight down the bath to keep things clean and controlled after disconnecting it. Next up, the old system comes off, and this is where the room starts to fight back. The flush handle is so badly rusted, there's no chance of undoing it properly. The toilet and basin were housed in a tiled ply unit that was built to hide the soil stack, which sits way too far into the room. We've got new units going in, so this is no longer needed. In regards to the pipe, we've got a plan for this later on. Now for the messy bit, the tile removal. We're using an SDS drill with a chisel attachment to break through the tiles and adhesive quickly and safely. Slow and controlled pressure does the work here. Let the tool bite, don't force it. Once the tiles start lifting, the rest come off much easier. Everything's coming back to a solid base so we can rebuild this room properly from the ground up. The next job is cutting out all of the old copper pipework and draining the system down. Everything's isolated and controlled before we make any cuts. None of this pipework is being reused, it's all being renewed. We'll be rerouting everything neatly and hiding it all behind the bath, so when this room goes back together, it's clean, protected and done properly. Up next, the towel radiator. We start by turning the TRVs off to isolate it. One of them actually had a small leak, so that's dealt with straight away. Once it's isolated and safe, the mounting brackets can come off and the radiator is removed. This is the only item in the room that's being reused, so it's stored carefully along with all the fittings, ready to go back in once the new bathroom's finished. Next, the bath comes out. The isolator valves are seized solid, so there's no point in fighting them. Just cut the pipes to get it free. With the connections out of the way, the old bath can finally be lifted and removed. Quick, simple, and now we've got a clean slate to work with. So, that is all the tiles ripped out, that's the bath out, all good. However, we've come across a slight problem. Under here, we've encountered a lot of different floors. I don't even think that this can be classed as a DPM. There's a lot of moisture in here anyway. There's wood here, there's cork, there's so many different things. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the SDS under this lump of concrete, take the whole lot out, get rid of this. I'm not even going to call it DPM.
Sheet.
It's just sheet, yeah. So yeah, and then we'll liquid DPM the whole lot, and then we'll backfill it with some screed. So yeah, let's do that. By the way, if you like seeing the good, the bad and the what have I walked into moments of renovations, hit subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and there's a load more projects on the way. We are going to be doing what is known as a DPM sandwich. This is a method that we use when there's no existing damp-proof membrane, or DPM, in the room that we're working in, or if it's failed. The process is a relatively straightforward one. What we're going to be doing is laying a moisture-tolerant level on the top of the substrate that we have at the moment. We then go in with a liquid damp-proof membrane, then go back on the top of that with another moisture-tolerant level. This then sandwiches the DPM between the two sets of leveller, and obviously this is where we get the saying, a DPM sandwich. Our first job, prime the floor. This locks in the dust, controls suction and gives us a proper base to work from. Once that's dry, we're mixing the leveller. We're using a bag and bottle. Mix it until it's smooth, no lumps, no dry pockets. Pour it out, spread it evenly and let it flow. Next up, the liquid DPM. This is a two-part system. Mix part A and part B together properly until it's uniform. We're applying the DPM with a B2 notch trowel to control thickness, then back rolling with a small roller for even coverage. Once the DPM's fully cured, time for the grip primer. Without this, nothing will stick. Final step, encapsulate the DPM with another smoothing compound. This protects the membrane and levels the floor, ready for tiling, LVT, laminate, whatever surface covering you choose. Right, we are here again this morning and we have got Luke the Sparky on site to do all of the electrics, because we've got the backlit mirror, we've got the new light to put in, and we've got the new extractor fan as well. He's also going to change the pull cord for a switch on the outside. So yeah, we will leave him to it. So Luke has been and done all of our electrics for us. I say done all of our electrics. So if I show you, he's fitted us a switch here. He's put an isolator for the fan, which it didn't have before, but there was also a problem. There was no earth in here, apparently, so he's come from the boiler, and basically what he's done is left us without electric and left loads of holes in our ceiling. So we've got the tripod light going because we no longer have the light in here. So cheers for that, Luke. But no. But we're getting there now. So Gren is now on his way to do the plumbing for us. So we are going to channel the wall for our shower. First job, mark out where the shower pipes are going. Measure twice, cut once. Because once you start cutting, there's no going back. I'm using an angle grinder to cut the channel. 2 clean cuts first. This keeps everything straight and makes the next part easier. Once the cuts are in, SDS drill with a chisel attachment to knock out the middle. Because it's already scored, it comes out clean without blowing the wall apart. Time to clean the channel out properly, dust and loose bits gone. This gives the pipes room to sit flush and makes fixing them a lot easier. So for the plumbing, we called Gren in. I knew this was going to be tricky. The pre-existing pipes also supply the newly installed kitchen on the other side of the wall. So in an ideal world, we'd have stripped it all out and started afresh. But the kitchen's staying, so we had to make the best of the bad situation. Because of that, soldering the pipes was really tricky. They were still full of water, which we just couldn't get out. And as you can see from the puddle on the floor, it wasn't exactly dry work. Sometimes that's just the reality on site. Careful planning, a bit of patience, and keeping your wits about you. Next, he runs the pipes for the shower, bath taps, toilet and basin. He bends the pipes carefully to follow the walls neatly. Press fit makes it easier, but it still takes skill to get the smooth bends without kinking. Once the runs are in place, he's using a press gun to join all the connections. This gives a strong, watertight joint every time, with minimal mess. With the pipes bent, lined up and pressed, the system is tidy, professional and ready for testing. Done properly the first time, with everything flowing exactly where it needs to. The bath is an L-shaped bath, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually flip it around the other way. So the shower end will be this end, and then on this end, where it would usually come into the room here for the shower, we're flipping the bath around, so it actually, the L shape is there. And then what this does is, we can then build a wall up there and basically put a false wall in there and then put a niche in for the shampoos and stuff like that. But yeah, we will do that now. First, we're measuring up the wall to set the bath height. No guesswork here. Get this wrong and everything else is fighting you. Next up, the leg kit goes on. Here's a handy little tip. Set your first bath leg to the exact height you want, then work off of that one with a spirit level. This trick only works if your floor is level to begin with. Luckily, we've already levelled ours, so we know we're starting on solid ground. Next, we move on to the overflow and the waste. And yes, we silicone both of these. These fittings won't be accessible once the bath's in, so this is one of those moments where that'll do really doesn't cut the mustard. We need this 100% watertight first time, because the last thing anyone wants is pulling a bath back out later. Before Ben can go anywhere near the plastering, we need to bond out the wall around the bath. The first thing we do is fix a timber batten underneath the back edge. With that done, we start filling all the holes around the bath. For this we use bonding plaster. Before we bond these pipes into the wall, we need to be 100% sure that they're set up right. The centres of the pipes have to be exactly 150mm apart and perfectly level. If they're not, the bar mixer shower either won't fit, or even worse, it'll fit but sit wonky. To get this spot on, we mark up a piece of timber at 150mm centres and fix 2 pipe clips to it. That guarantees the pipes are the correct distance apart every single time. The next job is fitting the tile backerboards. These give us a solid, moisture resistant base for tiling, way better than relying on plasterboard in wet areas. We dry fit everything first and then cut the boards in situ, then fix them back using the correct fixings. All joints are kept tight and we make sure everything's flat and plumb as we go. Any movement here will show up later in the tiles, so this part matters. Once the boards are on, the walls are solid and stable and ready for tanking before any tiles go up. There's more structural timber to go behind these boards, but we can do that once Ben's been and plastered. He won't be plastering this wall, so it's fine as it is for the time being. We are here with Ben from BH Plastering, and he is going to get our bathroom all plastered out. Once everything's prepped, Ben gets started on the plastering. All the joints are scrim taped first to help control the cracking. Then the walls get 2 really good coats of an SBR and PVA mix. Straight away, it was obvious these walls were going to be a problem. Because of that, Ben adds a full packet of retarder to the mix, just to keep the plaster open long enough to actually work with. These walls really were proving a problem. They were really thirsty and pulling the moisture straight out of the plaster as Ben was putting it on. Ben had had a feeling that these walls could have been troublesome, and as it turns out, he was absolutely right. But by the end, everything looked spot on. Walls flat, ceiling smooth, and somehow he'd managed to get it over the line. Or so we thought. Love it when we've got problems. So, the customer has messaged us and said that the plaster seems to be cracking. So we're here stupid o'clock in the morning to come and assess it. We're only a couple of days into the drying process and it's already dry. Ben was having loads of problems with it when he was putting it on. It was literally going off on the trowel. He'd put 2 really good coats of a mixture of SBR and PVR in the walls to stop it sucking in, and retarder in the plaster as well. It's still not worked. So this wall here is, well, you can see. So yeah, all good. This isn't going to help the timescale. Right, I suppose we better sort this out. If you want to see us sort this out, make sure that you like and follow for the next part. And we shall catch you on the next one. So, have a good one. We have Luke, the Sparky, doing all of the electrics. Because I will set the place on fire if I attempt them.